This is Yoshshaalia Benyahrael, and this is Real Talk. This is part 3 of Return Back to Your Original Origins. I just want to say to all the YouTube audience and Facebook audience and all my Israelites, brothers and sisters around the world that might see this video, to the sister that's from the UK who responded on YouTube and told me about the dream. I just want to briefly say that that dream is very significant to our time frame of coming out of here. The Most High showed your mother a vision about our stay here. It's time for us to vacate here. And by you bringing that vision that your mother had, that dream your mother had to me, is more of a confirmation of how important it is for this information to get out to our people of Revelation chapter 18, verse 4. Now we're going to go to Leviticus chapter 22, verse 2. And it reads as follows.
Tell Haran and his sons to be careful with the holy gifts of the sons of Israel, which they dedicate to me, so as not to profane my holy name. I am the Most High.
So the scripture says, tell Haran or Aaron and his sons to not profane anything that was dedicated to me. So all the things that the Israelites, the children of Yoshshaalia, were bringing into the temple to dedicate unto the Most High, the priests and the high priest had to handle these things. But how they had to be when they handled these things is explained in Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 16. And it reads as follows.
How handsome you are, my beloved, and so pleasant. Indeed, our couch is luxuriant. The beams of our houses are cedars, our rafters cypresses.
That was another scripture, Isaiah chapter 1, verse 16. But for some reason, the Most High wanted that scripture to be read. And what scripture that was in Solomon. So for some reason, the Most High wanted that scripture to be read. So whatever that was pertaining to and who it was pertaining to, take heed to that. And then once I review this video, I'm going to read that myself. So the video, the verse that I was going to, Maisha was reading, is Isaiah chapter 1, verse 16, and it goes as,
wash yourselves, make yourselves clean, remove the evil of your deeds from my sight. Cease to do evil, learn to do good, seek justice, reprove the ruthless, defend the orphan, plead for the widow.
Now it said, the ruthless. Who is ruthless? The ruthless will be the murderers, the killers, the child molesters, the prostitutes, all people that we would look at as ruthless, evil, wicked people. He said, reprove them. What do reprove mean? I mean, give them this word. Give them this understanding. Tell them about their wrongdoing. But the first thing it says was, what did it say? What was the first thing it says in Isaiah chapter 1, verse 16? Wash yourself. So when you go take a shower or you go take a bath and wash yourself, you're washing off the dirt, the filth. So we're talking about washing off the dirt and filth from being in Babylon, because this is a cross reference to Revelation 18, verse 4, which reads, come out of her, my people, that you do not be partakers of her plagues. So from that cross reference of the word come out of her, we ran into depart, touch, purify, mix, and go. So when we cross-reference all these scriptures, every scripture that we have cross-referenced tells us how we need to be. It tells us to depart from Babylon. It tells us not to touch nothing that is unclean. It tells us to purify ourselves. It tells us to leave out the midst. It tells us to go. Isaiah 1:16. Read it one more time.
Wash yourselves.
Wash yourself.
Make yourselves clean.
Make yourself clean.
Remove the evil of your deeds from my sight.
Remove the evils that you've been doing. All the nasty, filthy things that you've been doing. He said, remove them from our sight. The Most High sees everything that we do, even when we are asleep in our dreams, even when we have a thought in our mind, he already knows. So he said, remove these evil deeds because he see them. There's no way we can hide them. And I'm going to read in part 4, I'm going to read in 2nd Ezra, how he say, how his eyes, where he see things so bright, how he see everything that we do. There's no way of hiding our sins from him. He says, remove these things from my sight. You can play around with the Most High all you want. And you know what it is? It's time. It's time. That clock is ticking. As a sister who from the UK asked me and told me about her mother's dream, about the Big Ben, which is the big clock in, I believe is in Europe, is in Britain, I believe. Big Ben, which a lot of people say was built by Benjamin Banneker. That's why they call it Big Ben. As that time is ticking, the Most High already know. You got a time. He don't have no time. When that time expires and is over and done, there's no replay. There's no start. Over is a wrap. So he's telling us right now, get yourself from out of the Babylon, purify yourself, cleanse yourself. Let's go to the next scripture, which is Isaiah 48:20.
Go forth from Babylon. Flee from the Chaldeans. Declare with the sound of joyful shouting. Proclaim this. Send it out to the end of the earth. Say, the Most High has redeemed his servant, Jacob.
So he says, go forth out of Babylon. He tells you to leave. What else he say? He said, leave and do what?
Flee from the Chaldeans.
The word flee means to run. Means to flee. When you are fleeing, just imagine you in a movie theater, somebody starts shooting. What you do? First thing you start doing is fleeing. Because you're running from danger. So he's telling you, when somebody say flee, that means you're fleeing from danger. That's how critical this thing is being in this country. Look what's going on. You can't go to a movie theater or anywhere else without shootings going on. You can't go to a corner store without somebody trying to rob you, mug you. He's telling you to flee Babylon and flee the Chaldeans. One thing people don't realize about who the Chaldeans are. The Chaldeans are the Israelites. They are the Shemites, because that's who was living in an area of Ur. U-R. Where Abraham was born from, that was the land of the Chaldeans. And these people are still with us today. He's telling you to flee from them. Those of you who are part of this covenant, those of you who know this truth, flee from your people who still live like the Chaldeans and following them pagan idols that they were following during the time of Abraham. See, Abraham left his father's home and fled from the Chaldeans. That's why he got that there. My people don't understand that spiritual understanding, who the Chaldeans really. If you look at the book of Judith and you find out that the Chaldeans that they're talking about are the people we call Yoshshaalia today. That's who the Chaldeans are. You've been listening to Yermiyah Yoshshaalia Benyahrael, and this is Real Talk. This is part 3 of Return Back to Your Origin, to your original origins. And part 4 is coming up, and I will conclude on part 4. Y'all have a blessed Shabbat. I love y'all. Maisha want to say something before we close out on part 3? You don't want to say anything? Okay. From Maisha, LaCarisha, and myself, Yermiyah Yoshshaalia Benyahrael. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.